This film is about the differences and the similarities between English and Swedish.
One obvious similarity between English and Swedish is that they both use the Latin alphabet. Swedish and English are also both Germanic languages and, as such, have many similar words.
These words, which have the same origin, are called cognates.
For instance, house and hus are cognates, and cat and katt, as well as go and gå.
And after and efter. And eat and äta are also cognates, as are ship and skepp.
There are also cognates which mean different things, such as husband and husbonde.
And queen and kvinna. And land and land.
These are a type of false friends and are one of the differences between English and Swedish because they are words which look like they have the same meaning but in fact have different meanings. The following word is chef in English and chef in Swedish. A chef is someone who cooks food while a chef is a boss.
Full is another example of false friends because my class is full means that there's no more space, while min klass är full means that my class is drunk. Here's another example. In English, a gift is a present, while in Swedish, gift means married or poison, and that is certainly not a present. Also, blanket is filt in Swedish, not blanket. And English, pink is rosa in Swedish, not pinka, which means pea.
And fabric is tyg in Swedish. While Swedish, fabrik is factory in English. Finally, kiss is an example of false friends, which you seriously don't want to mix up. Because you give someone a kiss in English, but in Swedish, kiss means pee. That's definitely not something you want to give someone. Another important difference between English and Swedish is the ing form.
This is called the present continuous and only exists in English and is used when you're doing something in the moment. For instance, I'm eating grass right now. By the way, Franz made me say this and I'm not actually eating grass. Anyway, compare this to I eat grass every day. Here the action is repeated and therefore you can't use the ing form. Instead, you use what's called the simple present.
Another difference is that even though Swedish and English generally have roughly the same word order, Swedish also allows for inverted word order more often than English does. For instance, you can say apan ser mig. But you can also say mig ser apan, which is impossible in English.
Imagine saying me sees the monkey in English. It would sound weird. Another interesting fact is that English and Swedish both distinguish between definite and indefinite forms. For instance, there is a big difference in both languages between a cat and the cat, because a cat could be any cat, while the cat is always a specific cat.
However, a big difference between English and Swedish concerns how their indefinite articles work. In English, the indefinite article a is always used before a consonant sound, for example, a cat. Here you can see that the word cat starts with a consonant sound k. The indefinite article an, however, is always used before a vowel sound, for example, an imbecile. Here you can see that the word imbecile starts with the vowel sound I. In Swedish, the indefinite articles are called en and et, and the only difference between them is their grammatical gender. En is always used for common gender nouns, which are the most common ones. And et is always used for neutral gender nouns, which are the least common ones. For instance, dore is a common gender noun and is therefore always en dore. Likewise, hus is a neutral gender noun and is therefore always et hus. While we're talking about gender, one final important similarity between English and Swedish is that they both make a distinction between she and he, unlike so many other languages such as Finnish, Swahili, Igbo, and spoken Chinese, which are all gender neutral. Now that it's time to go, it might as well also be mentioned that not all languages have a word for hello. In fact, Gumach doesn't, but it does have a word for goodbye, just like Swedish and English. In Gumach you can say tjut tjut. So tjut tjut everyone.